Hey guys, my name is Ken Little, and I just wanted to give you a little feeder tour today. I host the Alabama bird feeder cam, and as you can see down below, we also have a critter cam. So I just want to give you kind of an overview, or just a little closer look, I guess, and of the particular feeder station, as I call it, and that way you'll know a little bit more when you're looking at it, what you're looking at. So thanks so much for tuning in, and please be sure and thank your moderators. They do an awesome job. Let's get started. Okay, this is basically the feeding station itself, and this is the camera pole that actually you actually get the feed from. Yes, it does have some ugly looking spikes on it. We've had squirrels try to get up on the camera, and then they jump from the camera to the platform there. So what we had to do is we've got a 4-inch pole here with a cap so birds or squirrels can't land on it. Then we have duct pipe that runs all the way down. It's smooth. The squirrels can't get a hold of it. And of course there's our feeder down ground feeder cam down below. The ground feeder trays. I even hear a brown-headed nuthatch on the feeder now. I don't know if you could see him or not, but they get accustomed to me being here. All right, let's get started on exploring this. I'll probably get buzzed by a hummer, and I'll probably throw the camera down, so don't pay attention. It's good for laughs, I guess, entertainment value. Right here we got a platform. This is recycled plastic. It's kind of new for me. Got one of these, but I also have one that's bamboo that's from Nature's Way. This is actually a wood link, I believe, feeder here. So, but the one I have is bamboo, is Nature's Way. What do I have in this? I have a mix of black oil sunflower seed, suet nuggets. Right now I have some shell peanuts. I have an orange and two suet balls that are cut in half, just to get it 2 halves. And I usually don't have the orange and the suet balls in there, but we saw a summer tanager come by here, and they had been eating on the suet balls that are up here. So we decided, well, we'll put some here because we've seen when he came back in May that he ate off an orange. We also have the orange and the jelly back there because this is migration season. We're hoping to capture some migrating birds that'll stop by, and this is kind of unusual. Excuse me, and sorry for the wind. We've got Hurricane Sally making its way up toward us here, so we're getting some gust here. But anyway, the feeder back here is not a typical feeder that we host, but when we have migrating birds, we try to put an offering out for any new birds that might not come otherwise. Right here you see the nectar feeder, which we've got about 3 ruby-throated hummingbirds that like to feed out of that. Notice the top of this, there's an ant moat. You can put water in that. But beyond that, I have the mother of all ant moats, a 6-ounce from I think it's Droll Yankee, and I've got that on all these. And what does an ant moat do? The ants have to cross. They come down the little pole there, and they have to cross water to get to this, and then crawl down to get your feed. So it's try to keep insects off your feed. The feeder pole itself is it's a awesome pole. I have no complaints about it. It's got this squirrel baffle here that goes up and down, and it's tapered, so if a squirrel jumps up on it, they grab a hold of it and it starts falling down, then it stops and they fall off. So but there's some ugliness going on up here with all the tines and hooks. Like I said, hooks are your best friend if you have a bird feeding station. This is a wavy house feeder that we have, and it's from Nature's Way as well. We've got black oil sunflower seed in it. The thing about this feeder is it's got nice little plexiglass that protects the seed, keep it from getting wet, and a roof, of course. But this thing with gravity falls down, and every now and then I come out here, I have to check that and make sure that is up so the feed can come out. We have some a Droll Yankee little feeder here. Of course, I have the And look at this. I've got the up. He's right there. I don't know if you can see the brown-headed nuthatch right there on the green wire mesh feeder. But anyway, back to the Droll Yankee. It's a great little feeder. Got a number of, I like that it has a good many feeder ports. And what we have in here is safflower seed and sunflower chips. And and this tray does not, feeder tray does not come with it, unfortunately. It's about a nearly $10 tray that goes with it. And it unscrews. It's got a little plastic screw there at the bottom there that you can take it off and go clean it. But what you do is this is great because you're not losing a lot of feed on the ground, which causes weeds and stuff like that. But you do need to keep that clean, especially when you've had rain, because there are drain ports in these seed trays. But if you've got seed around here, that seed gets wet, it clogs your drain port, and that moisture stays in the feeder tray there, the seed tray, and you end up getting moisture. You can get mold, bacteria, viruses, and all that. Bad for the birds. So this happens. We've had a dry period now, so this is okay, because the birds will actually light on this and eat that around here. You've seen doves light on it, tufted titmouses and such. Okay, let's walk around. And these are the suet balls that I have here, and I've got a little teeny tiny ant moat going on there. I've got some of these on order to replace for this and the wavy house feeder, a little small one up there. But the suet balls, the downy woodpecker really likes the suet balls, and the red-bellied woodpecker used to get feed off that, but the red-bellied woodpecker really now likes these suet nuggets right there. Now, the thing about suet nuggets is, I'm sorry, you can see the back of my house. There we go. The thing about the suet nuggets is they're good in dry environment, but if you had a real humid environment for a long period of time, you eventually have to trade those out. And if you got rain, those things are the first thing to break down and turn into mush, so be careful with those. We have right here the total feed. This is one of the most popular feeders here. It's not a narrow enough mesh to where, like a Niger seed, it does let some seed fall, and it does come with a tray. That's part and parcel. It's a perky pet, I think. And most all this equipment is out on my website, so under the page description down below. And this is a copper water feeder here with a raccoon and squirrel baffle. Keep those off. So I like to put water up here for the birds as well. And like I said, I explained the feeder back there. That's for Baltimore Orioles and tanagers and this and that. Hopefully they'll come by. Of course, we got a water feature over here, which if you tune into the site, you hear that. It's actually got LED lights on it, but that's just to kind of give them additional water source and create some ambience for those people on site. We got a black knight butterfly bush here. I've planted some of these. Now this looks pretty tacky here, but there's a reason for that. With Hurricane Sally coming, we actually had this shepherd's hook, this bowl filled up with water with rain, because we had like a day or two of rain, and with the shepherd's hook the ground actually got moist, and this thing fell over and nearly hit a raccoon. So anyway, so I've got bricks on it right now. It's kind of temporary, looks kind of tacky, sorry about that. And we got the little brown-headed nuthatch just keeps talking to us here. These little guys live in my chimney. He just flew off. There's a hole in my chimney stack and it's drive-it, so they go into that, or plaster, whatever you want to call it. This is a ground water basin. Here's actually a heated one, so I don't have it plugged in at this time of year. Obviously, it doesn't need to be heated, but when it gets cold, this is really one of the only water sources that they're going to have. It's heated, it's thermostatically controlled, and when I come out every time, I usually, when I refill it, I dump it, and you can tell where the grass is. I dump it over here, and then get that stiff brush and I brush it out, and then I put some water in it, turn it out, and dip, and then brush it out again, and then finally put some water in it. But you can see this kind of tapers off. It's kind of built up. And what I was trying to do back here, these are red cedar trees, these larger trees, is create some cover, because birds need cover to go to in case a predator comes by, so they can quickly go from the feeder to that cover. But the problem with having cover with real strong branches nearby is that squirrels can climb on it. There's kind of a rule that I've gone by, is that this feeder, there's no tree. You can see, I mean, the trees are pretty far away from it, and you can see how close my neighbor's fence is. This is residential suburbia, so this is not out in the middle of nowhere. So, and that's air conditioning. You can hear all the time, right over here. That kicks on, and that's what creates all the noise. But we're getting into fall, and we won't hear it as much. But the neighbor's going to build a new fence there, they said. But you can see this tree's about probably 14, 15 feet away, and we've got a wall, and we've got a tree here. I've got we've hatched 2 broods of bluebirds out of that house there, so that's a good thing. And if you're looking at the camera pole, from the camera pole view, you know, this is kind of what you're seeing. I'm shooting across a couple of backyards there, so this just shows you that you too can build a feeding station or a feeder in residential suburbia and attract a lot of birds. Now the garden in the back, I'm not a green thumb and I'm new to gardening. I'm trying to, it's a wildflower mix, not doing very well. My thumb's not very brown, but it is a place for birds and chipmunks and this and that to kind of go into, and hopefully it's attracting some bugs that the birds feed on as well. So that's a good thing there. I actually am in contact, excuse me, with a landscape architect. We're going to try. We've got to do some work in the front. I'm going to try to have them do some things in the back here as well. So hopefully we'll get a little better view. What I want to do is put a tree back behind here. Now this background in the fall is just gorgeous. I mean, it's you'll see the leaves change into yellows and reds, and so be sure and tune in as the leaves start to change. But I do want to put a blooming tree back behind this, and maybe have some vines and flowers going there, but I'm gonna let the landscape architect help me out with that. Okay, let's jump on over. This is a stump fountain. The stump is actually one, well, this is over here, let's see, is a butterfly bush, a dwarf butterfly bush. But this is a stump I found at Tractor Supply. It was on sale. It was like I think $24.99, normally about $39.99. Realistic looking stump, and I put a bucket in it and a little fountain, a little pump in there to use it as a pump. Now you can see I've got a cord kind of buried a little bit that runs back behind there. I've got a power station back there. Got power cords running and hoses. I've even planted a camellia bush way back there behind that little round boxwood. See if we can get some things going there. But anyway, that's just wanted you to kind of see, give you an overview of what the feeding station looks like. And I know the people that are watching it now, I turn the sound off, are like going, what in the world is he doing with his back to us? And he's not saying a thing. But anyway, you can see the little birds just light on it. They're kind of getting accustomed to me being here, but which is good. One day maybe they'll light on me, but the hummingbirds nearly have. They've been 18 inches away. But thanks so much for viewing. Be sure to thank your moderators, and have a blessed day. And thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of videos and a lot of upcoming videos where I'm going to be traveling some and doing some videoing in the out in the wild, you know, in some parks and stuff, and so trying to get some film of birds and animals and whatever we see. So, and maybe a review of the area and the park that we're in, so people can see if they want to go there or not. So anyway, thanks again, and God bless you.